Greg Brooks.
Here.
Debbie Davis.
Here.
Daniel Deal. Dewey Estimon.
Here.
Mark Evans. Jeremy Kinsey. John Pippinger.
Here.
Samantha Trent. James Wood.
Here. First is approval of minutes from previous meeting.
Motion to approve unapproved minutes.
Second.
Got a motion by John, second by Jeremy, any discussion? Roll call.
Greg Brooks.
Yes.
Debbie Davis.
Yes.
Daniel Deal.
Yes.
Dewey Estimon.
Here.
Mark Evans. Jeremy Kinsey.
Yes.
John Pippinger.
Yes.
Samantha Trent. James Wood.
Yes.
Next is approval of reports lost. Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by John Hoyt, second by Samantha, any discussion? Roll call.
Greg Brooks.
Yes.
Debbie Davis.
Yes.
Daniel Deal.
Yes.
Dewey Estimon.
Yes.
Mark Evans. Jeremy Kinsey.
Yes.
John Pippinger. Samantha Trent. James Wood.
Yes.
Next is approval of notaries. We have any notary application?
Yeah, I handed one out.
We've got one. We have one, Brianna Nicole Reimer from Mountain View Road, Benton. Employer name is Silver Key Realty from Akron. Looks like everything's filled out right. I believe it's on one we got.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by John Holt, second by Debbie. Any discussion on the notary? Roll call.
Greg Brooks.
Yes.
Debbie Davis.
Yes.
Daniel Deal.
Yes.
Dewey Estimon.
Yes.
Mark Evans.
Yes.
Jeremy Kinsey.
Yes.
John Pippinger.
Yes.
Samantha Trent. And James Wood.
Yes.
Next is budget amendments. We're getting handed out tonight.
We got one.
This is the only one we got from the budget director, is that it, Teresa? No.
7 through 10. 7 through 9 is in the packet. Can't hand it out tonight.
Got one.
Chairman, if you would, later on in the meeting, I'd like to come back to the budget amendments that will be dependent on the bonus resolution that we're passing.
All the budget amendments?
No, just the one dealing with the bonus.
Which one, Brad?
It's not in there right now.
Oh,
It's not in there right now.
Alright, budget amendment number 7. That's not it. First budget amendment is from the budget director. It's an undesignated fund balance, 11,500. It goes for trustees' data equipment for $322 and undesignated $425. Proposed expenditure is $11,500 for accounting and insurance, $322 for trustee data service, $425 for county clerk legal notice. Budget amendment number 8. Source of fund is from state grants. Expenditures, state grants $5,879. Expenditures $3,600 for in-service training for the library, and $2,279 for other supplies for the library. Budget amendment number 9. Proposed source of funds restricted for finance $9,000, and other restricted for finance $1,388. Expenditures of office equipment $9,000, and office equipment $1,388. 7, 8, 9, and then 10. Proposed source of funds is undesignated fund balance, 217.48. Expenditures for the sheriff's maintenance and repairs, 137.96. And for the library, for travel money, for 79.52.
What is the county insurance?
That is, an employee that just picked up insurance that wasn't budgeted for.
So it doesn't have anything to do with the county? Okay.
That's just the department it's under, it's just covered.
Well, number 9, 34515, I think I know what account that is, but, it's just restricted for finance. Is that one of the reserve accounts?
It is.
Make a motion for budget amendments.
Got a motion by Daniel, second by Mark. Any discussion on the budget amendment? Roll call.
Greg Brooks,
Yes.
Debbie Davis,
Yes.
Daniel Deal,
Yes.
Dewey Estimont,
Yes.
Mark Evans, Jeremy Kinsey,
Yes.
John Pippinger,
Yes.
Samantha Franklin, and James Woody.
Yes.
Next is, COVID money, Commissioner Deal. We got that.
Yeah, I've been hit up by different people throughout the community here, and I know Jeremy and Samantha have too, probably, about the pool down here. And, haven't had it open in over 2 years. 2 years ago, the state shut down because of COVID, we wasn't allowed to do that. And then this past year, they were gonna open it up, and, everything was gone. It's junk, it's been there forever. And, there's a lot of people, there's not much to do up here for young people, I mean, not much at all. And I would like to see it get opened back up.
You got any estimates yet?
I do not, and it's not only people up here, but the kids in Benton. 4-H camp comes, 2 times a month, and they bring a lot of kids to it.
Yeah.
They did before we shut it down. And a lot of people from Bannon, North Carolina come. I mean, it's a good thing, a good community. And I would like to make a motion to put bids out to get it fixed. I mean, redo it, whatever it takes, get it done, get people to come in and look at it, make it up to code. Whatever it is, but that's my motion.
I'll second.
Got a motion by Daniel, second by Jeremy. Any discussion?
What's the time frame on the return on the?
I would like to have the bids in 2 months, give them time to get them in. That way it'll be back up here.
December meeting?
Yeah.
Does the building committee need to meet the bidders, or is that something you just run over here and show them? You just let us know if we need to.
I mean, I don't really, they need to meet with either Robbie or Darren Waters one. I mean, that's the 2 control them.
Is there some type of pool inspector that come out and say what's needed?
They have a state inspector that comes, and checks everything. They might could get with them too.
And that's, just to kind of kick off with Daniel, I've met with Ron Henry and Darren, and a lot of it's because of the size of the pool, the state sets the regulations, if you would. And with the size of it being what it is, they have to have 1.5 lifeguards on duty at all times. And so we have talked as far as shortening it down some, because you can't have 1.5, you have to have 2 lifeguards. And so you have to have that extra expenditure, but if it was decreased in size some, then you'd only have to have 1 lifeguard on duty at all times. Another thing Darren had said was like the chemicals, just in the chemicals every day, that it was, don't quote me on this, but I don't think he said like $40 or $50 a day because of all the leaks inside of it. The sand filters they're rotted out, they're gone. And, Ron had said $40,000-$50,000 to fix just the sand filters, but then you've not even addressed the leaking issue going on around it. So, but I don't care one bit to, get with somebody that knows more about pools and, come up with a design, to have bid out, and I'll get with Daniel and Jeremy and Samantha and all the commissioners that want to. And we'll try to come up with something, because it's like Daniel said, I've got a lot of phone calls about it as well. And, it needs to be fixed.
Well, the pool itself is in deteriorated. It really needs to be done away with altogether. Have you ever thought about having a splash pad up here?
Yeah, but a lot of kids don't really like a splash pad, especially now, you know, they're 15, 16-year-olds, they don't care nothing about a splash pad.
I like they done a survey, didn't it?
It'd be less costly to do that. You wouldn't have to have a lifeguard.
From what I've talked to,
Smaller kids would
yeah,
really enjoy it.
yeah, and maybe, I don't know, I mean, yeah, maybe the small kids.
Yeah,
But
but
when you get up, you know, from what I've talked to, yeah, 10-year-old up to 30-year-old, they want the pool.
And that was another thing, talking with Ron about shortening the side of it. You could look to do both, to have the jetting system put in, because you're gonna have to tire out anyway. And so you could have two areas, like where the little kiddie part was. Ron talked about a small splash pad there, and then to have another splash pad come on. So I mean, if that's something other that y'all want to see in those bids, because if you shorten that down, you're gonna have that area. And just, have it as an example, and as well with what you were talking about, Mr. Woody, on that, or I think it was Greg, we did turn out a survey for splash pads, and that's a grant that we applied for through Blue Cross Blue Shield to have 2 splash pads on each side of the county. I've not heard back from them yet as far as if they're gonna award that grant to 2 or 1 or any of them. I've not heard back yet.
Well, I know we talked with Darren Waters about it, and he was telling me, it's been several years ago now, how bad it was, how much it costs every year to have to redo it, so.
We worked on it once, or twice, or that. But it just normal, isn't it? We put a new pump in once and something else. But that's just stuff we know is gonna go out over time.
Daniel, was your motion to refurbish it as it is now? Was that your motion, the same size and everything like it is now? Is that what you would make a motion on?
We can, let me rephrase my motion. My motion would be to put in 2 bids, to refurnish the way it is now. And then the other bid would be to do away with the deep end, make it one long, and then make a little splash pad for the kiddie pools, take the kiddie pool out. They can turn into 2 different bids and we can compare.
Sounds good.
And
I'll still say it.
I'll be sure to let, the commissioners up on the east side know whenever we're gonna come and meet. That way, if you have some questions or concerns, and, you're not getting something second or third hand, we can all try to come over and look at it.
Any more discussion? Roll call.
Greg Brooks.
Yes.
Debbie Davis.
Yes.
Daniel Deal.
Yes.
Dewey Estimate.
Yes.
Mark Evans.
Yes.
Jeremy Kinsey.
Yes.
John Kipinger.
Yes.
Samantha Franklin.
Yes.
And James Woody.
Yes.
Next, I believe I got put on by accident from last month, the broadband resolution.
Yes, that was
We got to February. Does anybody want that put on next month, or Jackie needs to wait for somebody to call?
I thought it was January. Was it January?
It was March.
Yeah, it
They
was.
moved it.
Yes, they did move it. It was January prior to the web committee meeting.
Oh.
And then the web committee meeting, they said that it's not, is it February, March? It opens in January now.
Opens in January, closes at the end of March, and they award them in April.
So, we could just postpone it and I'll have it put on the agenda if it needs put on next month. We can just take it off.
As long as we get it put back on, we know we got it, sold them good on time.
Next is a resolution from the Sheriff's Office for firearms for retiring officers. This is resolution 10-1-21. Transfer of duty firearms to retiring officers. Whereas officers of Polk County Sheriff's Department upon their retirement good standing may elect the purchase of service firearms. Whereas the amount charged will be the current market value of firearms replacement. The money obtained from transaction will be used to purchase a new weapon for the Polk County Sheriff's Department. The retiring officer will be responsible for any and all costs associated with the firearm transfer. Now therefore it is hereby resolved by the Commissioners of Polk County that it approves the policy to transfer of service firearms to retiring officers. Be it hereby resolved that the appropriate officials of the County of Polk are hereby authorized and directed to execute any documents to effectuate the transfer and purchase of service firearms at the time of retirement of officers in good standing.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by James, second by John Holt. Any more discussion? Roll call.
Greg Brooks.
Yes.
Debbie Davis.
Yes.
Daniel Deal.
Yes.
Dewey Estimov.
Yes.
Mark Ham. Kinsey. John Kipinger.
Yes.
Samantha Franklin. Yes. And James Woody.
Yes.
Next is transfer of funds from Polk County School Board. Anybody in schools here tonight?
She sent me an email to put that on there. And that's all she gave me.
Need to go on email.
Treasurer?
Yeah.
I guess we'll put that on there next month.
She was on vacation, which makes it nice, so I'll bring it in if I need to on a lot.
Next is, Running Road, Commissioner Deal.
Ronnie, right here, okay, yeah. He called me and I told him, never had met him until tonight, but he called me and I told him I'd put him on the agenda, and I'll just let you get up and give your presentation if you want to say anything that the commission can go ahead and do that.
Okay, I guess, as far as who is present, is the road manager or the guy that takes care of that, is he here? Roy? Where's he at? Come over here. Oh, hi, Roy. Right on. Okay, that's great, so everybody's here. The decision makers are here, of course, right? Okay. What did y'all feel about the petition? You ready?
You bring us some money for paperwork.
We're working on that.
Okay.
How many of y'all have seen Running Road in the past year? Raise your hand. 1, 2, 3. That's it. So the rest of y'all have not visited Running Road.
How many of you have seen Delano Road, or Linsdale Road, or Denville Road? You know, but anyway, go ahead. You know, it's, yeah,
Running Road's on the agenda, man.
I know, but, you know, that's the problem. We can't get everywhere, unfortunately.
That's fine.
But go ahead, I'm listening.
My concern about Running Road is there's many things, there's many reasons it could qualify for financing, but one of the biggest reasons is that it is a hazard. So I've had folks run off the road right into my driveway, hit my mailbox, because the trailers are hopping, their empty trailers come down and hop down and hit my mailbox, and I'll be able to drive off the mailbox. Spin it 180 degrees and throw my wash can 20 yards. And it's a pretty heavy impact. Folks that ran off the road because of the millings that are laying on the side. Unfortunately, Roy, you called somebody out there with a blade, straight blade, and got those millings off that one time, remember?
Yeah, we've done more than that.
We've been talking about 5 years now, 4 or 5 years about that road.
You called me the other day about this grant. You called me probably a year ago about a mirror on 123.
Right, yeah. No, over the years, I've been calling, just one little guy in a small little town. Not licensed. So we've had many reasons of why the road hasn't been paved, from tornadoes to this and this, that, and the other. So at this point right now, we're looking at a road that is a hazard for any people that travel, whether it's locals or non-locals. And, you know, what is the price on that? If you lost a loved one on that road, what would you pay? If somebody got hurt on that road, who's responsible for the ruts, the divots, the dips, and the millings laying on the side of the road? If you're riding a motorcycle, I imagine some folks sitting here riding a motorcycle. If you get off in those millings, you're going down. And if you're a tourist with a 120-pound girl with a 500-pound bike, you're gonna break that ankle. Where's that person gonna go for the negligence? Who pays that? Can anybody answer me that?
I would say the insurance company, the insured vehicle.
If they sued us, if they sued you, who would pay?
That'd be up to the judge.
No, but they sued Polk County and they win. Let's say, they usually do suits on, and I'm not a lawyer, but let's say you're 1% negligent. 1% negligent. A petition's been brought in front of it. It's been noticed that this is a bad road. There's what, 500 people that have said, yeah, we'd like to have that road paved. And somebody falls down, breaks their ankle, and then sues us. Are you at least 1% negligent for that road? I don't mean to apply all the pressure on you, but I mean, there's a reason to get this road to paved. Not to mention, as far as when you come over to North Carolina, on the Tennessee, when you see our little Tennessee state line, everybody's turning right on Running Road. And it's a first impression road. They get on that road, and it's a mess. And they think we're poor, they think we don't care, and they throw the trash out. Now, William Wallace and I got together, this project right here, right? Nobody trashes Tennessee. It's a good program. And we picked up, how much we pick up on that road? 750 pounds on a 1 mile stretch. Now, I've adopted 6 miles of road all around there. I've yet to pick up 200 pounds on that. Over 6 miles. And this is a 1 mile stretch. Why do people do it? They get on the road. Well, these people don't care about another. I mean, look at these potholes, this, that, and the other. And they're throwing their Chick-fil-A sandwiches out, this, that, and the other. Stuff all the way from Maryville. So I'm asking you, please, let's do something about this road. What reason would it be why we wouldn't do anything about this road? Can you tell me that?
Same reason we don't do a lot of roads, we don't have the money.
Okay. Right. Well, where are we at with the money? Where are we at with the money?
What do you mean?
Well, there's
No,
only-
we've only got so much in the budget.
Huh? How much you got?
No, we worked on the road to try to eliminate the truck traffic. That was one of the issues, that the truck traffic was destroying the road because it was a bypass, a GPS bypass. So we've tried to eliminate the trucks. That's been an issue, and it really deteriorates the road. It's caused a lot of this damage.
Yeah, this,
So the maintenance on it is a lot more to do because of that. So I can't stop the GPS from sending the trucks, and I can't stop the people going to the casino and things like that you were talking about. And the trash, I can't, if it's out of state trash, it's hard to stop that.
right. Folks are using that road. For example, just this past Sunday after church, I got up there at 12:30. I got 185 signatures, less 30 from Kickstart. Rose was getting some signatures there at Kickstart, okay, in a 3.5 hour period. I was out there on the ATV and didn't have a chance to sit down. My feet were killing me. 3.5 hours. Was it 160 signatures? And everybody is, yes, come on, man. Let's get that road done. What you gonna do? Well, I'm gonna talk to the commissioners. I gotta talk to Roy. I'm hearing it's money. All right. Let's find a solution for that money. Roy, how we doing on 20%?
On the 20%.
State aid program.
State aid, it's gonna be way down the road.
3
It's
months.
a long way. 3 months.
3 months.
For what?
To qualify for state aid, to get the state aid, to put the program together and everything.
So you're gonna do that, or is that something
That's something
you're
you do.
paying?
That's something you do.
Well, I don't have the funding.
Okay.
You gotta understand,
So
we
you
went
don't
through the
have-
budget, we went through the budget year to year, and they were making me move money from this line to this line, and we were down to where we were in the negative. I did not receive any funding to supplement for paving or supplement for any increase in any kind of production of paving. If the commission is willing to give money to pave, hey, we're ready to go. It takes 3 M's to pave. It takes money, manpower, and machinery. We've got the manpower, you see these men over here.
Right on.
And we've got the machinery, but we do not have the money to buy the asphalt.
Okay.
I wish we did. We don't have that.
How much
You
money
told
is-
me that you talked to the county executive about getting money.
Yeah.
You told me that.
Yeah, how
So,
much
now
money?
you're trying to ask me for the money, when I don't have it.
Okay, I get that, I didn't know you didn't have the money, I don't know how this all works. But there's like the understanding that you're getting so much money a year, I guess you don't have any more. And that's all good, so you need to get your money, right? We need to find the
That's
balance.
what I thought this was about. I didn't know it was to, to make it.
It's about finding a
not
solution.
a job.
Isn't that, right?
I
It's a
want a
solution
solution.
we're looking for. We don't want anybody down on that road. We don't want to get sued, right? We don't want to get, anybody get hurt, suing us, or winning a lawsuit, we gotta pay for it.
What's the speed limit on that road?
No, there is speed limit on the road, there's no speed limit signs.
Well,
All
what-
signs are
what
going.
you
It's what the
described,
county is adopting.
people are speeding.
Huh?
I said, what you're describing, people are speeding.
No, all of them speed. Not the ones that get in the middle and just slide off the road.
It ain't no worse than the road I live on. I mean, I got a hump down the middle of it, and it's a single lane. So, I mean, you're depicting your situation, and there's a lot of roads in Polk County the same shape. But you're no different. Of course, I'd like to see it fixed, but we do not have the money to do it.
How much money is it gonna take to fix the road? I think you said $100,000.
$140.
Put 4
That's-
inches of
that's,
asphalt on it? You said you put 4 inches of asphalt on
It'd take a binder and it'd take a topping layer.
it? $100,000, right? So
A
stay
little
there.
over that, it'd be about 150.
So if you
Depending
fly
on
that,
material costs, if it's gone up, that's just a phone call estimate.
okay, phone call us, all right. What percentage of that would it be worth to pay that road? To get this right, so when folks come into our county, they see a road they can be proud of to get on. There is what percentage? Would it be 20%?
I think that needs to go to the road committee to discuss, to bring it back to the commission with recommendations, but not an open commission meeting.
Any percent? Other than-
What it goes back to is where your road stands compared to the other roads in the county. It's not whether your road is fixed or not, they all know it.
Yes, sir.
It depends on how your road stands and condition compared to every other road in the county, which he has a list, if I'm not wrong, you have a list of most needed roads.
We do have, amount of deficient road. There's probably about $14 million worth of backlog in that.
Where is his road at on that list, you know? Is it?
I don't have that information with me. I didn't realize I was going to be with this depth of conversation to have detailed information that we would need for this. This was totally, and I would assume that y'all put it on the agenda because, he was anticipating to get money from y'all to fix it. I don't have the money. And I appreciate his enthusiasm to get it done because, this is supposed to be coming up again. It's out there, get a petition and get your road paved.
Yeah.
There's another one, there's one on Belltown.
So we're not on the list. What do you have
You're
on
on
the
the
list for
list to
state
be
aid?
paid, but it's just a matter of when we can get the money. And like I said, $14 million, it's really thin. $14 million worth of backlog. I've asked for this money before from the commission back in budget times past to tell them, hey, this is where we're standing.
Mhm.
And $14 million, if they were to give me $100,000 a year, it would take some time. We're at essentially a 36-year rotation. If we were to pave every road in the county, that we're at a 36-year rotation. I've been in office for 10 years, and I've done 120 miles worth of resurfacing of some kind. Due to the COVID restrictions and stuff and the lack of funding that we've had, I've not done near as much. As a matter of fact, I think we're doing some tar and chip probably this month. And I've not been able to spend any money on tar and chip since the budget year 2020.
Well, tar and chip is not something that we would be talking about running road.
If that's, if the commission wants to fund it, then I would be fine with that.
We did tar and chip a couple of years ago, and it started pulling off in 3 days. Within 30 days, every bit of it was off almost, and on the edges. Every bit.
Well, I'd like to say one thing for you. I told you just get about 10 minutes. And I
Yeah, that's our 10 minutes. We'll put this road
But
committee.
I want to clear that, I sure didn't tell him that and you can verify that, I didn't tell him the county commission would give him the money when I put him on the agenda. I put him on the agenda because he asked me to. I never told nobody. And if
I didn't
did
come here saying that. What I'm coming here saying is, let's find a solution.
Well, we'll put this.
But on the other hand, if, you know, I've got 30 other people in here live up here. If we give the money to Runyon Road, then all these other 30 people gonna want their money to pay their road. And that's like people up here too. Every road in Polk County needs attention done to it. I firmly believe that. But, you know,
How many people live on
got the
that
money.
road?
How many
discuss
people
that
we
committee.
actually can live on that, you think? Two, how many got in your house?
I don't know. Probably 15, 20 people.
Maybe 15, 20, but that's not the point of the amount of people live on the road, it's the amount of traffic that is on the road that makes that road hazardous for any non-local coming through there. That's
It
what I'm
does, but we want to be sure and take care. I mean, I realize what you're saying. I'm not shooting you down for it whatsoever about the tourism end of everything. But we also want to be sure that we take care of our people before we worry about the tourist that comes through and buys a lollipop on their way to spend all their money in North Carolina and Georgia and throw the garbage out here. So that's why it is important to me is how many people, how many Polk County residents live.
We got to move on, we got a bunch.
But we need to bring this before the road commission.
Go ahead, and then we'll move on. We're gonna put this road committee, we'll be notified, I mean.
Temple. If you look at the petition, it breaks down how many were not local, how many were non-locals. And I broke all the demographics down for that and put the percentages on that, so.
Well, on this
go back
petition, there's
through
quite
that.
a few out-of-state people, which is okay. I mean, it's okay.
Yeah, it's on
But-
that, where does it
Right,
say?
yeah. But it's just, you know, it's important to me to know, you know, how many people's on the road.
Exactly.
But,
I broke that down.
Yeah, yeah, I seen it. Yeah, I know. But there's still quite a few out-of-town people, out-of-state people on here too. And, so, you know, it's like I said, I mean, your concerns are legit, that nobody's knocking at. It's just finding money.
Okay,
Yeah.
right, so.
You know, we're with you. We'd like to fix it.
We gotta go. I'm the chairman, I said what's going on next is county redistricting. Heather, I'm sorry, I didn't know you was here, we'd put you at the top of the agenda, you got as far to drive. But, next is, county redistricting.
Mr. Chairman, I put it on because, nobody else had when I was in,
I make a motion to choose plan E, known as another 2223.
I can't, what?
Second motion.
What? I did put it on here because nobody put it on. There was a recommendation from the committee.
The recommendation from the committee is votes.
There was a recommendation from the committee.
No, sir, there was not. There was votes on the committee that were not on the committee.
Did you not like D because it puts you in?
No, that's fine.
Was it
I'm
political?
happy with
Because I feel
being
like
with
that's what it
them.
is,
But
because
the
you come up with
people,
this.
the people of District 2 in the north end would rather have it so that they could have their representation better. If you look at the map, Heather, could you bring up the map?
I mean, it's funny to me that you just
In the corner is Gabrielle McCullum. She works in our CTAS Nashville office. So I busted her out of the office today. She'd never been to Polk County, so this is her first time to be in Polk County. And then I also have Jim Hart, who is our jail consultant for CTAS, but he is also the supervisor of the field staff. So I'm glad to have them with me tonight. And I'll pull up, you want another 223, right?
Yes. This is the one preferred by the residents in Breezy Creek and Reliance. I've been up there several times visiting with them. I think there's probably some in the room tonight.
I thought some of them.
Depends on who you talk to, honestly.
To be honest with you, they don't exist because they never made it to the paper.
Yeah, you didn't put D in the paper after you made it.
After you made it, you didn't put D in the paper.
There's an F now.
Yeah.
that you haven't seen.
That you pulled yourself out?
Yeah. There's also, you know, one Winton paper, I think, took in part of Big Station. I've never seen it on paper come out.
Those were,
But the deed was not in the paper, and the people that were calling wanting the deed, a lot of them didn't want to come up here, and that was the option. The E was only one there.
Before I go away from this is what was looked at by the committee last week. See that? That's the one we called the 3223 plan. And then, let me.
Thank you all very much for your time. Thank you very much. Hey y'all, if anybody signed our petition, we really appreciate you.
We gave this one a fancy name. It's called another 3223 plan. And the main difference was this area in the northwestern part of the county. That both plans meet the deviation requirement of the plus or minus 10%.
this one was the one preferred by the residents that I talked to in Greasy Creek and Reliance. I showed them the maps, showed them the differences, and they felt like they would have better chance of getting representation up in the north area rather than where it's concentrated right now in the south. They would be able to be more represented because right now, District 2 at the north end is represented by people in Ocoee and Old Fort. They would like to have the opportunity to pull somebody in from their area of the county. This one keeps communities together. It's not splitting lines, it's not dividing little communities in half, it's not moving this road to that road because those people like me and those people don't like me. This is just going by communities.
A lot of them I talked to wanted sign back in their community.
Well, the ones I talked to want it like it used to be. Greasy Creek back in Zion Valley. And it's, honestly, to me, it's not to do with who likes me and who don't, because Greasy Creek's one of my strongest boxes, always has been, and it's gonna be taken plumb out of my district. I'd love to still have Greasy Creek. But I've talked to a lot of them work at school where my daughter and girlfriend work, and it's overwhelming. They want it back in 314 like it used to be. Now that's amongst them. Like I said, it just depends on who you talk to.
Right, but they're on the south end, and that's where their representation is now. They've got Mark there, they've got me there, and you're just a little bit south. It's everything in the south represented. There's nothing coming from the north.
But I won't be in this new district.
Correct, you're throwing me and Mark and Woody in that district. I mean, it looks like a political move to shove 3 commissioners out of your area that beat you last time. And that's what people called me and told me about.
Well, mine's not
I think you designed this
mine
plan.
was, I want to use Greasy Creek Zion Valley, for sure.
I don't think anything can be politically motivated because we never know from election to election who is going to come out and be running. So I really can't see the political end of it. Everybody in this room and everybody in this county has the right to run for a commissioner post or any other elected official post that they want to run for. So this is me myself, and then I'm going to make my statement, I'm going to shut up. A lot of the people I have talked to does want the north end, to go with the north end. A lot of them, like Greg said, they want to go with that other end. most everybody said, as long as it did not get split to where the above the mountains people had to split and come down here, or vice versa, they would be good. Now that is what the majority of people has told me. But yes, I'm not disputing your word whatsoever, that there are some that do want to go with the north end, and there's some that do want to go with the valley. That's kind of a split decision there. But none of us have a clue who we're going to be running against. Nobody. And so, I mean, I really don't see the political end of it, because we may all have to have a primary. They could be enough people come out. I mean, it's pretty much kind of looking on my end that that's going to happen, could happen, sure enough. And if it does, that's good. That's everybody's right. Go for it. This job is lovely. So just get out there. But anyway,
I know for a fact I'm losing two of my strongest box. 314 Greasy Creek.
I don't know. I mean, it's hard, and we can't make everybody happy. Everybody will not be happy. But we at least did decide, and everybody was together on that we would not split above and below. So and it is going to cost the county another commissioner. But, I just felt like, and I didn't really want that, because I didn't feel like we could afford that either. But yet, there was just too many opposed the other way.
Yeah, because I tried to keep it at 3.
Yeah. And I would have been fine with that myself, but no, I was not going against that many people. So.
I'll still take them. If you'll give them to me, Heather.
But anyway, that's where I'm at with the calls and the people that I've had,
Is there anyone here from the Greasy Creek, Reliance, Springtown area that wants to say a word?
The last 2 times we've had revision, the people and the mountains wanted to be aligned. If you just look at the geography instead of who lives where, the West Polk being north, Benton in the middle, and South Polk. South Polk's already got a school, probably likely eventually there'll be a North Polk school. So we're more of a community than stretching us all the way to Conosaga and all. Our post office is in Delano now. If eventually there's a school there, the high school is relatively close to us, but we're much more cohesive as a group as North Polk, South Polk, and Benton in the middle. Now, where commissioners live, jurisdiction, and all that, I don't even know. Not exactly sure who my commissioners are right now. I've tried to call 2 or 3, made numerous phone calls, and I haven't ever been able to get through. But I talked to probably 12 or 15 people to begin with since the committee meeting the other night, and I've only talked to 3 or 4, and they said that's still our preference. So I didn't talk to as many people after everything got kind of shuffled around. And that's still our position, that we'd like to see North, Benton in the middle, and South Polk as 3 blocks like that.
Are you speaking for everybody in Greasy Creek?
No, I'm not. I'm not elected official.
I mean, you said our position. I just wonder how many you talked to.
Well, I said about 12 or 15 people. And I'm on the Greasy Creek precinct, and I appreciate, I ran for county commission in '86, and did very good in Zion Valley, did very good in Springtown. I lost in my own box. So, as Debbie says, you don't know how it's going to turn out, but that's the way mine turned out.
Well, everybody I've spoken to from Greasy Creek, they make a good argument. 90 or over 90% of the kids that live in Greasy Creek go to school at South Polk. They don't go to Benton, and they would rather have a school board representative from that area, the South Polk area, cause that's where they all go to school at. I mean, that's just like I said, everybody here is telling the truth, it just depends on who you talk to, you know, basically.
Well, they'd have their own school board after all this is said and done, if it was to be accepted. They'd get a new school board member for that area.
Oh, they would. They're just, would rather have one from Ocoee, Parksville area than Linsdale area.
But with
Cause
now
the kids go to
also,
school at South Polk.
also Greg, now like, Harold said on the, with this other plan, they won't be with Conosaga now, correct?
Right.
Like they are now.
No, they are.
Yeah.
But either
So-
way, either plan,
Yeah.
you're not gonna go from the Conosaga anymore, no matter
Right.
what we decide on.
Yeah.
It'll put everybody closer.
It will put everybody in a little bit more connected feel. So it,
Are there any other residents who would like to make a statement?
No, everyone that I spoke to, as far as family in Greasy Creek, family in, Delano, family in Springtown, family in Fairview Mountain, they're all for going with the, connection with Delano. Again, that is our post office area that we have to go to now. That is where we're connected to. And again, I have family also in, quite a bit of family in Greasy Creek, and they think the same thing. I didn't hear any of them say that they're connected to Conosaga.
No, Conosaga won't
Conosaga's not in
even
your
be
plan.
in this plan.
Parksville.
Parksville Road, 314 area, that's the way it was 20 years ago. And the
Well,
ones I
that's
talked to
only
said they
on
liked that, it worked good.
Cindy Mountain, Cindy Highway.
Yeah, but it won't be nothing south of 64 highway. Will be with Greasy Creek.
But Greasy Creek is, they can connect to Reliance in Springtown and Delano. They do go to school and, of course, Benton and South Post.
I mean, there might be some that go to Benton and Greasy Creek, but I don't know then. Everyone I know goes to South Post. Hugh's motion was what plan?
The one plan E for another.
Any more discussion?
So D was the recommendation.
No. D was the fake recommendation because they couldn't get enough votes to pass, so they made Debbie think she was on the committee to get a vote.
no, I actually was on the committee. We just don't know if I got took off of the committee.
No, you weren't.
The resolution has.
Resolution right here, your name's not on it.
So this time we're voting on another.
Well, then just cancel that out. That doesn't matter. We're at a full commission now. So what we voted on the other night, kick it out the door. That's fine.
Okay, Jeremy, I've gotta have petitions out December 20th.
What happens if it don't happen?
The state will come in and do it for you, and y'all could lose the commission. I mean, it's possible.
I'm sure the state come in and it was not the rule.
Yeah.
Or y'all can take in Greasy Creek or Springtown and keep the commissioner. You don't know what the state's gonna do.
In other words, we don't want the state doing
That's
it.
what I'm trying to do.
Roll call on Dewey's motion.
Did we get a second?
Yeah.
Yeah, James second.
I'll stop writing. Greg Brooks,
Pass.
Debbie Davis,
Pass.
Wilma Hill,
Pass.
Huey Estimate,
Yes.
Mark Evans,
Pass.
Jeremy Kinsey,
Pass.
John Pippinger,
Pass.
Samantha Trentham, pass, James Woody.
Yes.
I make a motion for Plan D that we, some of us thought we made a motion for the other night.
But we can't mention that because we really didn't. So,
Well, I said we called.
okay, we thought we did. So throw that out the door what we thought. But anyway, it didn't matter anyway, because full commission got to pass him, so be it. And which is great. I'd rather have him, and that's good, but anyway.
Got a motion, John Owen.
Second.
Well, yeah, we could, is anybody class gonna change your vote?
Change it. You wanna change some vote?
Next one is the original plan.
And please explain it one more time, Craig, so people, or Heather, or who, somebody, please explain it. So
This one
everybody
is
will.
basically everything on the north, west corner of the county above Benton stays District 1. And I can tell you, because we changed commissioners with this one, I'll just read this off to you real fast. So District 1, which is up here the northwest corner, has 3 commissioners and a total population of 5,121. District 2, which is your southwestern, has 2 commissioners and a total population of 3,694. District 3, which is the blue section, Ducktown, has 3 commissioners, 5,108 population. And District 4, which is your new area, is all this area here in the middle, and it has 2 commissioners, 3,621 people. But this too meets the deviation requirement of the plus or minus 10%.
Is that, what was the deviation of?
The deviation total, just 1 second, is, well, I'm having to do math in my head later.
It's 8.6, I think.
8.1.
Yeah, it's 8.26.
And the boundaries of everything south of Benton 64 Highway, Zion Valley, the east side of 411 to the Hiawassee River, Springtown and Greasy.
It starts on the south end there.
Yeah, it gets around shallow a little bit, so it can still be used as a voter precinct in the new district. Pretty much the highway's the boundary for most of it.
That's the correct.
And that's the first 3
That's what's on, yes, that's what's been occurred.
And I'll just add, the resolution that you all were sent reflects this plan, but also brought like resolutions if we needed to, in case something else, in case something gets changed.
One question on this, when we originally drew it up, it put me into that district, which is fine. It put Mark into that district, which is fine. It did not put anybody in it, but the lines got moved, so now it puts, Mr. Woody in District 4. Why was that moved over?
Are you asking me?
Include this on that. I didn't know.
A lot of things are just a matter of, as we discussed, census blocks. And you have to move an entire block, you can't change lines.
It was a little small block.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, it's the road, because it was shifted up. If it's just one over, it's fine. But you split the road, he's on the wrong side of the road. It's basically what happens. What would happen if that was just that one block was moved? How much would it affect the deviation?
I mean, you want me to do it now? We can do it. But you'll have to show me, you'll have to come show me
You may
where.
go up there and show where it is.
Yes.
What's your address, James? Bailey Road?
462 Bailey.
Are we going, which district?
Zoom in on that.
I got a question, on federal roads, which district will that be in, if it's all through this plan?
The other side of the road is the city.
District 2, what about the 64 to 500? So the north side of Old
We
Federal
want
will
to
be
know that
District
50 block
4.
from 4 to 1.
For the sheriff. For the sheriff. That'd be District 4. Who needs to run? I mean, current commissioner, sorry.
We're not gonna be able to do that.
They have one, and they
What's your exact street address, James? 462.
Okay, so that's
Was that the one that was supposed to be?
I didn't know. Okay, that's what.
One commissioner said I'm going right here, so that's what we need.
Anybody else want to see a copy, please?
Same place. All precincts are the same. There might be some details because there is a
I'm just pointing the things on the map.
Does this change your resolution any?
No, it doesn't change the resolution because it doesn't affect your number of districts or your number of commissioners. So it would stay the same.
It's like, but the only.
I make an amendment to my original motion, Mr. Chairman, to take whatever they just done up there, because I can't see it from here.
It's 2 census blocks, you know, and it works out 79 people.
Does it? Cause
What's our deviation? It stayed the same, it's still the 8.33. 8.23, sorry.
I'm looking in from that meeting, and get right here forward. So that means in the first. There's still three.
It'll still be 3 commissioners. You know, that's why I don't understand this
It's all
political
changed
end
up.
of it. Is that who gets voted in?
Yeah,
If
that sound?
I can't run in somebody else's district, I can only run in my district.
Yeah.
So that's the part that you kind of left out when we were talking about.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you gotta run in your
In your
district.
district.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
districts may change, but unless you're running.
Right, but it don't, but there's plenty enough people in each district that can run. Exactly, so, you know, it's just, I mean, to me, that's just beside the point, because we're all out there, if you run, you run, if you get it, the people want you to have it, and if they don't, then you didn't need it, because they didn't want you to have it. And that's the way I see it, so, I mean, you know, I don't want anybody to vote for me, ever, that don't wanna vote for me, because that you don't need that. And, you know, I don't care what district I'm running in, if you don't want me, don't vote for me. Okay. Real law. I think John changed it, so if anybody, anybody wants to do, we need to move it on.
Did you say? Yeah, we got, we got a motion by John, a second by David. Any more discussion?
This
This
modified. This is the
Name with
modified.
adjustment.
Yeah.
Modified, except D is modified with those two little dots back in, puts Woody back in one. Right?
As far as our commissioners goes right now.
Yes.
But we will still be adding a new commissioner.
Yes.
To the fourth district.
To the fourth district.
Now, overall, you just added one.
Overall, you just added.
And one commissioner. Yes. But that
Districts
means
1 and
spaced out.
3 will have 3 commissioners, districts 2 and 4 will have 2.
Yeah. Roll call.
Greg Brooks.
Yes.
Debbie Davis.
Yes.
Daniel Gill.
Yes.
Dewey Estimon.
Pass.
Mark Evans.
Yes.
Jeremy Kinsey.
Yes.
John Pippinger.
Yes.
Samantha Trayton.
Pass.
James Whitman. 6 yes, 3 pass.
Thank God this is over. I like to thank Heather. She done. She was the most patient person I think I've ever met in all my life. She made on how many trips to Polk County or Coffee County, spent hours with us, guided us through, and I don't think nobody could done a better job than you did. And thank you for everything you've done.
Thank you. I will submit this on to the comptroller, and then I'll just pick up a copy of your resolutions next day.
Okay. Thanks. Moving on.
We still have to pass the rest.
We gotta read the resolution.
And Heather, will you send that, so you'll send that new map?
I'm gonna send it back so I can.
Okay, and that map will be attached to this resolution. On that resolution, it has property to the map attached. But you get that printed out.
I'll have it tomorrow.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm gonna read the resolution, 10-5-21. This is to adopt the redistricting plan. Resolution 10-5-21, to adopt the reappointment redistricting plan for Polk County. Whereas Tennessee Code annotated section 5-1-111 requires at least every 10 years, county legislative bodies to change the boundaries of districts to redistrict the county entirely if necessary to apportion the county legislative body so that the members represent substantially equal populations. And whereas Polk County has prepared a plan consistent with the provisions of the Tennessee Code annotated section 5-1-111, which provides for a county legislative body composed of 10 members and which creates 4 districts as depicted on the official redistricting map. Polk County prepared pursuant to Tennessee Code annotated section 5-1-110. Now therefore be it resolved by the Polk County Legislative Body, meeting in regular session at Ducktown, Tennessee, on this 21st day of October, 2021, that section 1, there is hereby adopted a reappointment plan for Polk County which provides for 3 commissioners in districts 1 and 3 and 2 commissioners in districts 2 and 4 for a total legislative body of 10 members. The district members of the county legislative body are depicted on the official redistricting map of Polk County prepared pursuant to Tennessee Code annotated section 5-1-110. A copy of the redistricting map is attached to Exhibit A to this resolution and is incorporated herein by reference. Section 2, all members of the county legislative body shall be elected at large within a district wherein the candidate seeks election. The 3 candidates in Districts 1 and 3 and the 2 candidates in Districts 2 and 4 receiving the greatest number of votes in each district shall be elected. Section 3, the plan shall take effect upon passage of public welfare requirements, provided the vacancy shall be filed in accordance with Tennessee Code Annotated Section 5-1-104. This is adopted this 21st day of October 2021.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Got a motion by John Hoyt, second by Samantha. Any discussion on the resolution? Roll call.
Ray Cook,
Yes.
Debbie Davis.
Yes.
Daniel Deal. Yes. Hugh Estimate.
Yes.
Mark Evans.
Yes.
Jeremy Kinsey.
Yes.
John Kipinger.
Yes.
Samantha Franklin. Yes. James Woody.
Yes.
Seven yes, 2 passes, 2 passes.
Moving on, we've got resolution imposing vaccine mandate. Commissioner Escalon.
You want me to read it?
Go ahead, I'm gonna burn out.
Resolution opposing President Joe Biden's announced vaccine mandate that extends to 80 million private sector workers in America and may apply through OSHA regulations to Polk County government employees, and in furtherance of this opposition, requesting that Governor Lee, the Polk County Legislative Declaration, the Tennessee General Assembly, and the Tennessee Attorney General take all steps possible to oppose, protest, and challenge President Biden's overreaching federal mandate. Whereas on September 8th, 2021, Joe Biden announced vaccine mandates that extend to approximately 80 million private sector workers and additional mandates extending to millions of other federal workers and contractors. And whereas these mandates will force private sector employers with more than 100 employees to become vaccinated or produce weekly negative test results before reporting to the workplace. And whereas in order to implement this mandate, Occupational Safety and Hazard Administration, hereafter OSHA, is expected to promulgate an emergency temporary standard that will remain in effect for 6 months. Whereas while the President has described this mandate as applying to private employers, it is clearly unclear how President Biden's mandate on employers with more than 100 employees will affect county governments. And whereas Tennessee is a state with a state plan under the Tennessee Occupational and Safety and Health Administration approved by OSHA, and this state plan applies to both private and public employers. As such, the President's mandate may apply to all employers covered under the Tennessee state plan and therefore include county government employers. And whereas U.S. Senator Bill Hagerty has expressed opposition to the mandate, stating, while I believe in the effectiveness of the vaccine, a product of the Trump administration's remarkable Operation Warp Speed, this top-down federal order, which President Biden vowed he would not issue, not only includes on what should be personal decision for each American, but it will make it even harder for small business owners to hire and retain employees. And whereas Governor Bill Lee, in response to President Biden's vaccine mandate, stated that this is not about freedom, is a phrase that should never come out of a U.S. President's mouth. For a fight that requires working together, a lot of cynical and divisive edicts came out of the White House today, pitting the vaccinated against the unvaccinated, businesses against employees, and the federal government against states. Whereas Tennessee State Senator Mike Bell has written a letter to Lieutenant Governor McNally asking him to seek a special session from the governor to the legislature to take all steps possible to protect Tennesseans' constitutional rights from an overreaching federal government. Now therefore be it resolved by the Polk County Legislative Body meeting in regular session at Ducktown, Tennessee on this 21st day of October 2021 that the Polk County Commission expresses an opposition to President Joe Biden's announced vaccine mandate that extends to approximately 80 million private sector workers in America, and may apply through OSHA regulations to Polk County government employees. Be it further resolved that the Polk County Commission requests that Governor Bill Lee, the Polk County Legislative Declaration, the Tennessee General Assembly, and the Tennessee Attorney General to take all steps possible within their respective authority to oppose, protest, and challenge President Biden's overreaching federal mandate. Be it further resolved that the Polk County Commission opposes this abuse of power that threatens the personal liberties of the citizens of Polk County to make personal health care decisions regarding receipt of the COVID-19 vaccine. Be it further resolved that this resolution shall take effect upon passage, having been properly signed, certified, and meeting all other legal requirements of the Polk County Commission as otherwise provided by law, the public welfare requiring it. I believe that people have suffered through COVID and they've got their natural immunities. There's no reason for the federal government to come down and make them take the vaccine. If they're following the science, that's what is real. I mean, you've got all these people attacking other people saying, oh, it's my body, my choice. But when it comes to this, it's no longer that. There's something wrong there. We need to take a stand and say we're Americans, we have the freedom here. We're not going to be mandated by Joe Biden or anybody else to do stuff.
Amen.
Make a motion, we adopt resolution 10-2-21.
Second.
Motion by James, second by Debbie. Any more discussion? Roll call.
Greg Brooks.
Yes.
Debbie Davis.
Yes.
Daniel Deal.
Yes.
Dewey Estimate.
Yes.
Mark Evans.
Yes.
Jeremy Kinsey.
Yes.
Ron Pippinger.
Yes.
Samantha Trent. Yes. And James Woody.
Yes.
Next is employee bonuses, Commissioner Perry.
I have been asked tonight to put that off for a month to review on the funding source.
Funding source?
Yeah. So I'd like to put that on next month's meeting, which will be the November meeting, which is actually,
That's what we usually do it anyway.
well, that's when we done it the year before last, yeah.
And just so everybody knows, it's not nothing to do with COVID money.
No, this has nothing to do with ARP money. This is the.
It's just regular bonus we do every year.
Every year or so.
Is everybody good to put that next month?
Can I ask a question about it, brother?
Yeah, forward on.
Every year I ask the same question, why aren't the road department included in it?
Because they're separately funded through the fuel fund.
Well, I get it as far as the road department, because we're not under centralized accounting and budgeting. Okay, I get it, if we give it to them as payroll money, then it makes it repetitive, maintenance of everything. But in this bonus, I mean, maybe we can talk to Eric, our county attorney or something, and I'm sure if we look hard enough, there's a way to give that money for 22 employees. This is regular bonus, not COVID money, to Roy Jean and some other line, and then you can, through Hannah, do bonuses like the rest of the county gets. There's gotta be a legal way to do that. I mean, if we designate it as payroll, I get it. You know, we're inclined to maintain that every year, and we might not be able to afford to. But if we give you the money, and then the only thing after that, we'll just have to trust you to give bonuses with it, which I'm sure you would if you got the money. But can we have Eric look at that?
Oh, yeah, that'd be fine with me. It'd probably be an interlocal agreement or something, that way it would be all laid out to what it's going for. It would not be a recurring. I think that's the biggest issue, is the reoccurring expense.
I mean, we could do, yeah, the reoccurring expense. We could do you a one-time payment for $22,000 for asphalt. Okay, and you put that in your asphalt line, and you do a budget amendment, take it out of your asphalt line, and do employee bonuses with it. I mean, there's a way to do it, a legal way to do it. I'm just thinking outside the box, you know, that sounds like that. Something similar, that works, that's wrong. As long as y'all trust him to give y'all the bonus when they get the money. But something similar to that'll work. I just make sure we do it legal above the board. That's just a scenario. And it won't show up as payroll, so, you know. Right, and I mean, I agree, they're, you know, county employees, just same as everybody else. So I think they're entitled to the same bonus as everybody is. And I believe they understand where we're at about the maintenance of effort. You know, if we give it, we're obligated, and then next year we may not have the money. But at the same time, I believe there is a legal way around it too. So maybe we look into that, and this month, or buy us a month, to figure that out too, between next month. And as usual, we tell everybody, if you want to decline the bonus, you just go to Creasy's office, fill out a piece of paper, and you won't get it.
Did the road department get raises this year? That'd be my only question.
Do what?
Did the road department get raises this year?
It wasn't in the budget, just like this wasn't in the budget either. I asked about that during budget time, and it wasn't in the budget.
I just know we weren't budgeted, when we do this, it's in lieu of raises. I just want, you know, keep it fair.
Yeah, our side says in lieu of raises.
Right.
Or y'all getting raises?
No.
But we'll.
But real quick, Greg, and I know John Moore's not really going to bring this up, and I'm going to bring it up real quick and shut up. But there is a possibility, and I'm going to say possibility because I don't know how everything's going. But with the ARP money, the COVID money, the China virus money, I don't know, flying flip, I don't know, but I did.
Okay.
But anyway, with that money, if we are able to, after our broadband comes out, and we've got extra money.
If it pays.
Yeah, if it may, oh, it's gonna pass, sorry, but it's gonna pass. But anyway, if that, we're hoping, it looks like that we might have bonus money with that to give everybody, and not have to come out of the general fund.
Fund balance.
Fund balance,
Yeah.
yeah. And it looks like we can give more by doing it that way, with the figures that possibly Catrice had worked up. Now, all of this is possibilities. So, but if we could use that money for bonuses and save our money for our precious needs, ain't money to them? If we give them $2,000 out of COVID or $2,000 out of, ain't it the same money to them?
It's very possible that it's tax due, I'm not sure.
Well,
So I've heard two ways. I know the bonus that the county always gives is like payroll, correct, Crease?
Yes.
And I've heard that the COVID money might be like contract labor, like a 1099. I mean, that's the only two ways I know it's gonna be. As far as money is money,
Yeah.
it might be tax different. And I know it depends.
Yeah, that's supposed to be addressed on that training on the 10th.
We'll find that out on
Okay.
November 10th, but that's.
well, I mean, you know, but I'm just throwing it out there that this could be a possibility.
Excuse me, I have a question. In regard to the COVID money, the broadband, does that have to be paid? What's the due date that we have to put that money in by?
It has to be set aside, and we've got 2 years to pay it, but we've got to set it aside whenever the vote
Okay,
is
so
voted.
technically we could set half aside with the first payment and half aside for the second
No,
payment?
you gotta put it all up front,
Yeah.
but you can put it in an interest-bearing account.
Okay, but you said we have until next year, then next year.
Yeah, I'd
We
like
don't
to
have to
sign
pay
the
it till the
contract.
job's completed, but we have to put the money in escrow before they'll agree to start the job. And once we put it in there, we can't use it for nothing else, it just has to sit there, and it can draw interest, that's about the only benefit we get from it.
Okay, when are they looking for a start date for that?
The
March.
program opens, I think, in January. They need an answer from us before they fill the paperwork out for the grant. The DEC is going to do the grant application. They need to show the 10% match from the county. So it closes, it goes from January to March, closes in March, so in January, they need to be ready to rock and roll and have the paperwork turned in.
Okay, so they
And
need
one,
the full $1 million.
yeah, and one thing I want to say real quick, then I'll shut up, because I know this is a lot of, it has to be. This grant can only take place where BEC lines run,
That's correct.
or they've got to jump on to something from a point. So that's why There's some of Polk County that's not gonna be in this. And yes, does that suck? Yes. I would like to see, I know, the whole lower end. Yeah, the whole lower end, he's absolutely correct. Now, the only positive part of this is, through VEC, what they're saying, and then when you think about it, it all makes sense. If we could ever get our feet on the ground, and we ever can get a point A, then there's a strong possibility then that these other companies will come in and jump on to what's there. Right now, they ain't nothing to jump to. So Spectrum, Comcast, all them play, whoever they are, they ain't coming. Because there's nothing there. And they're not going to foot this bill. It ain't going to happen. So if we don't get a start, there's no hope. We're through. For internet, we're through. And our growth is through.
And you can't get an extension grant if you don't have the primary service there. This brings the primary service in, and then the extension grants that come from that is what your service area is going to pass.
You know, what would be idealistic is, you know, one road in Linsdale get it, one road in Delta, one road in Benton Station, one road in Conestoga. So we've got a little bit of everybody. That would be the ideal. That's what I'd love to see. But it can't happen. It can't happen. And so, is it unfair? Yeah, it is. I'll agree with everybody, it is. It's unfair. But if we don't jump on it now, I don't see the future. I don't know where we're going to jump at.
I was just not sure if we could divide up.
But, and I don't think a lot of people, I mean, you know, I don't mean to take over, but anyway, I'll shut up and let Greg finish.
That's what I was
Right,
hoping to see.
right. But, you know,
as far
because,
as growth, I mean, I may be wrong, and yes, I'm being a little biased because man, the county's not getting none of this, but like,
But your district is.
but say, no, ain't mine no more. I'm just saying,
You are losing that election, Mike.
you know, as far as stopping growth, if Amazon, I mean, I don't think Amazon is gonna want to locate on Lower Chestatooga Road. I don't believe that's gonna prevent growth.
no,
Because the
well,
internet's not there.
I get that, Greg. I mean, I'm with you on that. The only thing is, there is a lot of people that does do businesses out of their own house now. That does take place. And, you know, no, you're right. I mean, you know, there ain't nobody coming over to my pasture and want to build with Amazon. I get that. But I also get the fact that if we don't get it, I see no future for your lower end getting it.
Well,
you know?
Then you can't apply for grants.
And there is places down there that is very suitable for big businesses.
Well, I'm sort of a low-tech man in a high-tech world, and I don't know a whole lot
Well, I am
about
too.
this,
I'm as low as it gets.
what is it everybody's talking about for $400 a household? Everybody gets a satellite for the Elon Musk internet or whatever.
Yeah.
What is
You
that?
forgot about your $100 a month that goes with that, Bruce.
You what?
Your $100 a month.
What's Starlink charging?
That's what they're gonna be paying for this when it's over.
It's $49.99 for the base pack. It's $64.99
That's a
for
teaser,
500.
that's a teaser rate.
For five, no.
Then it goes up to $79.
Yeah, for 1 gigabyte down. 500 up and down is $64.99. And you can get, if you have a low income family, they can get a $50 voucher from FCC.
For the first year.
No.
That's only during the COVID emergency.
When the COVID emergency's over, that free
That's it.
goes away.
When it said yearly renewals.
That's under the FCC COVID emergency rule.
Yeah.
Only while the COVID emergency rule is only for Black Duck Live.
Yeah, it said yearly renewals on that FCC side.
Well, if this Musk fella ain't got a better satellite than all the freaking satellites out there right now that you're getting it off of, we're hurting.
He's got, right now, like,
Cause HughesNet and all them places suck to the gill.
they got one satellite, he's got thousands.
But say, that's what we're talking about, I promise to go on that is, that's another issue. I understand where this is going. A lot of people don't have access to different kinds of internet, and they're not happy because it's a little slow or it costs a little too much. I got places in my district has access to nothing. And it's like when everybody else is saying, sure. No, but over in there where this is going, a lot of people
Yeah.
can get internet. You know, I've got places,
Every place on that map.
Excuse me,
Every
where?
place on that map is unserviceable.
on the far side of
Now, I will, on your defense, there is a few that can get that American.
I've got people that go out direct to Myers mailbox trying to go
I
back.
have to climb like 3 mountains.
Yeah,
I'm free to tell and then you can't even
I've
talk.
got no internet. I'm just saying, I've got no access to it.
I didn't know we were going to be in that discussion. I didn't want to
It's
start
hard to make it wood right there.
The Lions Creek Creek have 789 electrical units, residents that can be served by what's coming up there that do not have service now at all. No opportunity to have it. They can't go by it because it's not there. At 789, 242 people, you look about 1,500 people in your district that have benefited from availability of this area. Well, you know, it's still your district till you run again.
I don't want to kill the deal. I'm just airing my concern.
I understand.
And
I'm
as far
not
as-
making a lie.
As far as, you know, everybody says this is a starting point to keep expanding.
Yeah.
When's the next time we're gonna get 1,200,000?
But we will have to make it ready if it's there.
That's
These other companies will jump on.
We got it free because we had internet.
Okay, move on.
Moving on, Corporation Utility District, Camp Dick.
I had Brooks right there, so I'm sorry. But anyway, so this resolution is for the county legislative body is for the Copper Basin Utility District. County Attorney Eric Brooks has been looking into some of the different things. I have the actual deeds that I put in here on the back, but the deeds were done and the land that the utility district sits on belongs to the county. The building, water tanks, they belong to the utility district. And so in the event somebody was to get hurt or sued, the county, even though we have the land, it's not in our, it's not on our inventory that we have insurance on. It is Copper Basin Utility District. But the deed state that the county owns the land. So this is just to move the land of Copper Basin Utility District to them where they have their facilities sitting in, and we'll remove the county away from it. So
Taking liability off the county.
taking all liability off the county. And that's was done, one of them was done 21st of June 2001 by a former county attorney. And then the other warranty deed was first day of April 1982. And Eric said that he was almost certain that this had been done by a former county legislative body at some point in time, but it never followed through with the resolution to let the county executive be resolved to sign the deeds and move it over. So this is just kind of cleaning that up. That's all this is. But I have those deeds here if anybody wants to look at them, or if anybody wants a copy of them, as always, swing by the office or let me know. Right. You gonna read Brooke? Go ahead. Okay, I just wanna make sure. Resolution 10-3-21, a resolution authorizing and approving the transfer of all rights, titles, and interests that Polk County, Tennessee has in the property located at 2597 Highway 68, Turtletown, Tennessee. Map number 093-044.00, the Copper Basin Utility District. Authorizing and approving the transfer of all rights, titles, and interests that Polk County, Tennessee has in the property located on Hyatt Bigham Road, Turtletown, Tennessee. Map number 9093-026.05, the Copper Basin Utility District, and authorizing the county executive to execute a quitclaim deed on behalf of Polk County, Tennessee to Copper Basin Utility District. Whereas Copper Basin Utility District's main office and water plant are located at 2597 Highway 68, Turtletown, Tennessee. According to the map number 093-044.00, said property was conveyed to Polk County, Tennessee in deed book 106, page 325, in the registrar's office of Polk County, Tennessee. Whereas Copper Basin Utility District's water tank is located on Hyatt Bigham Road in Turtletown, Tennessee. Map number 093-26.05. the ingress and egress of utility easement that Copper Basin Utility District purchased for the water tank was conveyed to Polk County, Tennessee in Deed Book 218, page 138 of the Registered Office in Polk County. Whereas Copper Basin Utility District recently discovered that the above referenced properties are not titled to Copper Basin Utility District. Whereas Copper Basin Utility District is requesting that Polk County, Tennessee transfer all rights, titles, and interests in the above referenced properties to Copper Basin Utility District. Whereas Copper Basin Utility District has agreed to pay all expenses related to the transfer. Now, for there be it resolved this legislative body in a session and assembled that one, the transfer of all rights, titles, and interests that Polk County, Tennessee has in the property located at 2597 Highway 68, Turtletown, Tennessee, map number 093-044.00 to Copper Basin Utility District is properly located. Is properly located on Mount Bigham Road in Turtletown, Tennessee, map number 093-026.05 to Copper Basin Utility District is authorizing and approved that the county executive is authorized to execute a quitclaim deed on behalf of Polk County, Tennessee to Copper Basin Utility District. Be it therefore resolved with this resolution taking effect on this day of its passage, the public welfare requiring it on the 21st day of October 2021.
Make a motion to approve resolution 10-321.
Second motion. Motion for Jeremy, second for James, any discussion? Roll call.
Greg Brooks.
Yes.
Debbie Davis.
Yes.
Daniel Deal.
Yes.
Dewey Estimov.
Yes.
Mark Evans.
Yes.
Jeremy Stinson.
Yes.
Sean Pippinger.
Yes.
Samantha Franklin.
Yes.
And James Woody.
Yes.
Next is, how much time we got left? I know we got 30 minutes. We're doing good. Next is resolution on, building lease, county executive action.
I had to pass out a new lease agreement. County Attorney Eric Brooks emailed this morning at 10:39. It says that Bar Crawford filed the corporation charter for Dr. Satterfield's corporation yesterday. However, the name of the corporation was slightly different than Dr. Satterfield had told me. Because of that, I had to change the name on the documents to match what Dr. Satterfield also signed up for his P.O. box. So I've added that to the lease as well. Attached should be the final draft, personal gratuity and rendering the resolution. So this is to be able to rent out the last building at the Copper Basin Medical Center, which is known as Building D. It's one half, so this will have all of our buildings leased out. But this is a resolution to give me the authority to go ahead and sign a lease agreement with Dr. Satterfield, and he is a practical practice of healing arts, PC, is what he is. General practice in healing arts.
Which one did you just give us, the PC or the?
Pardon?
Which one did you just give us?
Saturday.
Yeah, but we have two. Which one is it?
It was the one that I just gave you. It's not that one. It's
She
that
had
one.
to change
Yes,
her mind,
it's the
okay.
new one. Yes, it's not the one with the resolution marked on the top of it, so we just need to change that. What's that first estimate? Resolution 10-4. So this blank one that I passed out is the correct one that his LLC had set up. So it would be resolution 10-4-20. Let me read that one, Bruce.
Go ahead.
Thank you very much. Resolution 10-4-21. A resolution approving the commercial lease agreement for the left side of Unit D, Suite 2 of the Medical Park at the Copper Basin Medical Center between Polk County, Tennessee, City of Ducktown, and as landlords and Doctor of General Practice and Healing Arts, PC tenant, and authorizing the county executive to execute the commercial lease agreement on behalf of Polk County, Tennessee, and authorizing the county executive to execute and provide the above named tenant with written consent or approval on behalf of Polk County, Tennessee on the matter set out on a commercial lease agreement that requires written consent of approval from Polk County, Tennessee. Whereas Dr. Eric Satterfield desires to move his medical practice to the Copper Basin Medical Center. Whereas Dr. Eric Satterfield is the president and owner of the Doctors of General Practice and Healing Arts, PC. Whereas the left side of the Unit D, Suite 2 of the medical part of the Copper Basin Medical Center is currently vacant. Whereas Doctors of General Practice and Healing Arts, PC has agreed to the lease of the left side of Unit D, Suite 2 of the medical park at Copper Basin Medical Center pursuant to the terms and conditions of the commercial lease agreement for 1 year at $750 per month. Now therefore be it resolved by this county legislative body in session and assembled that the commercial lease agreement with Doctors of General Practice of Healing Arts, PC, for the left side of Unit D, Suite 2, at Copper Basin Medical Center is approved. The county executive is authorized to execute the commercial lease agreement on behalf of Polk County, Tennessee, and the county executive is authorized to execute and provide the above named tenant with written consent and approval on behalf of Polk County, Tennessee, on matters set out in the commercial lease agreements which require written consent or approval from Polk County, Tennessee. Be it further resolved that this resolution take effect, and after its passage, the public welfare requiring it on this 21st day of October 2021.
Second.
Got a motion by Samantha, second by Debbie, any discussion? Roll call.
Greg Brooks.
Yes.
Debbie Davis.
Yes.
Daniel Deal.
Yes.
Dewey Estimov.
Yes.
Mark Evans.
Yes.
Sharon McKenzie.
Yes.
John Kipinger.
Yes.
Samantha Trent.
Yes.
James Woody.
Yes.
Next, the library board appointment. Against the big pack.
Those were in your packet. That came from Maury Cox from the library board. It's my understanding that was the only application.
And it was. Karen Luke. She's applying for the Regional Library Board, Bucktown, Tennessee.
Make a motion to approve it.
Second.
Motion by Samantha, second by Debbie. Any discussion? On the appointment? It's roll call.
Greg Brooks.
Yes.
Debbie Davis.
Yes.
Daniel Deal.
Yes.
Dewey Estimov.
Yes.
Mark Evans. Sharon McKenzie.
Yes.
John Kipinger.
Yes.
Samantha Trent. Yes. And James Woody.
Yes.
And last is road issues. I think it's something our attorney got to look over for Smyrna Road, so.
It's just a resolution for Smyrna Road, and it's just, something that the, county attorney has a requirement for us to sign off on the grant. It's just a simple resolution, not have this price read up.
Resolution number 21-8, railroad crossing.
Is there any questions about anything else in there? Sorry, is it okay, she just go ahead and read it again? It's a resolution for that. Sorry.
Railroad crossing approaches project grant number CRR 070431 for Smyrna Road between Polk, CLB, and TDOT. Whereas the Polk County Road Department, PCRD, has written, applied for, and been awarded a highway rail grade crossing improvement grant for safety improvements on Smyrna Road, identified as US DOT crossing number 347921B, in the amount of $165,518, and whereas said grant is one package with 10% matching funds in the amount of $16,551.80 estimated prior to the COVID-19 pandemic, and whereas the county legislative body CLB voted in a budget meeting on June 22nd, 2021 to fund the match for the grant up to $20,000, and funds from the CLB budget known as 101 having been transferred to PCRD Fund 131 on the 20th day of September 2021. Whereas PCRD shall be responsible for any matching funds required over the CLB contribution of $20,000 from their budget known as 131, and now therefore it is resolved by the Polk County Commission meeting in regular session this 21st day of October 2021 at the Copper Basin Community Center in Ducktown, Tennessee, authorizing Polk County Road Superintendent Lloyd G. Thomason Jr. to sign executing contract with TDOT in his capacity as Chief Administrative Officer of Highways, along with the Polk County Attorney Eric Brooks in his official capacity, so as to faithfully execute contractual documents according to expedite the railroad crossing approaches grant number CRR 070431 with the above mentioned financial responsibility of Polk County cap at $20,000, and having already been transferred from budget known as 101 to PCRD on the 20th day of September 2021.
time-sensitive documents requiring signatures currently known as 1, railroad agreement page 9 of 9, as well as any other documents deemed necessary in the future by TDOT to facilitate this grant as needed. This resolution shall become effective on passage of public welfare requiring it, adopted this 21st day of October 2021.
What was that resolution number?
21-8.
Second. Got a motion for Dewey, second for Mark. Any more discussion? Roll call.
Greg Brooks.
Yes.
David Davis.
Yes.
Michael Hill.
Yes.
Julie Estimov. Mark Evans. Jeremy Kinsley.
Yes.
Todd Pipkins.
Yes.
Samantha Smith. Yes. And James Whitney.
Yes.
Now, Stacey.
On that one, that's the, state part. Chris, yeah, they've not even got started. To be further on that one. And I've heard from Cherokee Hill Utility District, I've heard from the city of Bend, Etowah Utilities, Oklahoma Utilities. I've not heard from Copper Basin Utility District yet as far as what they're looking to do. I did talk to Mayor Davis at the request of Commissioner Pitcher with the first round of our money. And he says that a lot of the money that they have, that they're going to try to get because with the state money, it's going to be where the utility has to apply for that money. They'll have to put up a portion of it and letting the utilities use their part of the ARP money, the first round, as a portion grant, so that way they can have to come up with it. But it's our understanding, you know, how this ARP money's evolved, as it's come down. It's our understanding that the utility itself will have to put in payment towards these grants. And so they're going to use part of their ARP money, that first grant, so it kicks in to help us get more money. Mayor Davis described it as a way of $2 million, now becomes $10 million, you know, leverage and they're used that way. Yes, those will be coming out, but it'll probably be a couple more months ago. I don't know if it's the state side of it.
So the cities will be using their ARP money to make it right.
That's what Mayor Davis is making. So that way they have to put, it's like anything else, they have to put some skin in the game. You know, if they're going after $1 million, just using that around number, if they're going after $1 million grant, they're going to have to put some of their money in, and then the state money, state ARP money comes through. If they're going to apply for it, the county can use that part, because that's what the county will do. And then that way, there's two combining that can go after each one.
I've got, one question. Jamie, I won't put you on the spot. I get asked this a lot, and seriously, not the workers, but citizens. Do you know how much longer y'all gonna keep renting the old ambulance building?
No, we have no desire to let it go.
I mean,
We've got a truck there. We've got a licensed truck there.
well, I guess I get asked a lot, and I'm probably asking the wrong person, don't mean put you on the spot, but if y'all come to us wanting more money because y'all wasn't being profitable, people's asking me, how can y'all keep renting money in the building, you don't use for 2
We've been
years?
on the spot. We rent a lot of places.
Okay.
The building's used. It's housing a truck. It's my office.
Oh, okay. No, I just get asked, Lord, everybody wants to know what's going on with it. And I'm just curious.
Can I make one statement? Yeah. Everybody don't know who I am, but anyway, I work over at Trash Center. And I want to tell y'all, because all of y'all won't know this. Our road department was a big help in our county just this week. Our main trash crusher locked up tight. The boys from road department ranked one. If it wasn't been for them, we would have been out of business. So I just want you to know that they're doing above and beyond what they're having to do. So, good job. We applaud them for that. Thank you. We know that they do a lot of things beyond it. And, you know, and it's a crying shame. That's that they can't have money. I mean, it's.
Well, I don't know
I mean,
what it
it's-
is, coming up with money.
Right.
I'm just telling y'all.
And we've
them
got to
boys
come
helped
up,
us.
we've got to come up with some money. We have to.
And it's a small piece of stainless steel.
That place is good.
That was wedged and just nowhere to go, kinda like what happened at Benton. You know, just an article got underneath it, Benton, if y'all remember, we had to shut it down for there too. And Lige, Lucas, all them that came and helped get that up. And if you don't think that's a big deal, in the office, whenever a dump down for any reason, if the gate's shut, just transfer out a box. Bang! And you're like, and they get mad because they can see the attendants inside. And they're like, well, how come the dump shut down? It's for safety, for one, because it's awful hard to change a box out and 14 people running in and out. But, you know, as Eddie said, yes, that was a major help to the county this past week.
Two things real quick, definitely is having their fall fest coming up on the 30th there at the courthouse. And, I believe Jackie, listen on the trunk or treat, starting about 5 on the 30th.
4 to 6.
4 to 6.
Yeah, 4 to 6 at the
Justice Center. And the ambulance committee, I brought up, put on another ambulance and looked into that. We did not meet this last month. Things got, had the haywire. But the ambulance committee, Chairman, you see it will be the same as it was last year. He's not, anyway, he told me he wants to explain it before, so we say it is, and you'll be meeting next 2 weeks. About a additional. You said, yeah, Brooks, it's good.
And I do have
Ambulance
one.
committee's the same as it was last year.
I do have one other, we currently have an vacancy in the senior center director on the east side of the county. I've shared that out, so if anybody you know that's interested in that, it is a part-time position. And also, we're still needing somebody that wants to make the trip up and down the mountain every Friday and get meals. So Will Wallace, our Twitter grant coordinator, has been doing that. And he's been traveling up, bringing the meals to the east side. And as you heard Mr. Freeman state earlier, Will uses the remainder of that day to do a trash pickup on the east side on Fridays, but he's also up here on Wednesday. So if anybody's hunting for a part-time job, the director for the senior center position is open. I'm taking applications right now. And Ms. Leopard, she's moved on for a better job. And I can't fault anybody for that. I hate to lose people, but you know, so if anybody's interested, and then as well, if you don't want to work every day, but you'd like to drive up down the mountain on Friday, come see me, because we can put you hauling meals.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.